Hey guys, how's it going? Let's see. All right, here we go. BJ Turon, $2 back for more new Trek. Yes, we're back to Thursday night first reaction reviews. This is what this is, and welcome back, guys. Cheers. New Trek is back. All right. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Let's see. How many? Big Kinga. Yeah, I said the same thing when we filmed our review earlier. That's going to be out tomorrow afternoon. I'm like, wow, the Enterprise must be the most stolen ship in Federation history. But Olivia throws in $2. New favorite engineer. Yes, she's great. Absolutely love her. I think she's fantastic. Samuel doesn't like her that much, I don't think. He doesn't like her mannerisms or the way she talks. But I think she's fantastic. Ozzy, member for 40 months. Wow, at the rank of Federation Council. Blood wine every Thursday. Skeleton hands. Starship ready. Skeleton hands. Hands speed. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. Hypno Amber, yay, I'm here. Okay, good. Mark, I was glad we didn't have to wait half a season to get the Klingons. I know, but I'm wondering how much they're going to be in it as a whole this season. BJ says, not sure about this one. Enjoy the actors, but logic and canon is out the airlock. Not looking forward to the Gorn threat. How did Spock and everyone forget about them in TOS? I know what you're saying. Also, how many people were aboard the Enterprise when it got stolen? Was it like just the bridge crew, or were there people down in engineering? Hypno Amber, I love Carol Kane, I'm so glad they wrote her uniqueness into her character. Yes, she's very much the way she's acting in this. Very much reminds me of her in Scrooge, where or Scrooged with Bill Murray, where she plays the ghost of Christmas Present. Geraldine is here with Yo Cap. Olivia throws in $5. Was that Crossfield class the actual Crossfield? I couldn't tell. Well, that's ambiguous because they do say, Chapel says, I wonder how they got that in here. And he's like, I think they built it. So implying that it was like a build of theirs that they made look Federation. The Crossfieldness of it, we never saw the Crossfield, okay? The Crossfield class is, of course, based on the first ship, which is the Crossfield. We've seen two of them. We've seen the USS Glenn and we've seen the USS Discovery. Now, those both were modified to have the spore drive. So that could explain why they look different. It could be that the Crossfield class that we see in this is what the Crossfield class actually looks like. And when you modify it to put in the spore drive, you got to change the secondary hull and stuff. I would totally buy that, 100%. The other theory that would work is Starfleet's new people had heard about the Crossfield class, but the Discovery got classified, and so would the Glenn, therefore, for the spore drive. So instead, they modified the design to create a new Crossfield class that is just the Crossfield, and it's got the hallmarks of the Crossfield class with the two-ringed saucer with the negative space in there. So that could work as well. Anyway. Peter Calico 550. I don't like the ape crap Aztecing on the Enterprise. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either, but oh well. Fleet Paw, $5. Fucking A, proper Klingons. Does this mean that Discovery Klingons are no more? Are we getting smooth heads? Love the armor, though. I doubt very much we'll get smooth headed Klingons, honestly. They're going to stick with what they got with the new ones. I love that there's no reference even to the old ones, except for just talking about the war. So, do you think that they will stop using the Prometheus class? We don't see it anymore. Do you think that they stopped using the Prometheus class? Oh, the Prometheus class wasn't around right now. Big King Guy, I think we're walking back a little of the stuff established in Discovery. Oh, walking back a lot of the stuff, yes. BJ said, it's funny that the fake Federation ship was the Crossfield class. It looked like the Discovery, and that was destroyed by the Enterprise. It's almost like a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge by the creators of the show to be like, we're sorry for Discovery, guys. But BJ says, when the Admiral warned Spock about stealing the Enterprise again, there should have been a montage of the Enterprise being stolen by everyone, including Spock. Again. Paul Hitchcock, the first Starfleet ship at the space dock seemed like a mix of the NX class and the 22nd century Intrepid class. I wish they would drop the say the thing. Kirk didn't have a thing, not that thing, and he was pretty spectacular. Exactly. Isn't the Crossfield class what Discovery is? Yes, we just talked about that, though. Lots of ways to explain that. Salty Trekker is here, and he probably hated every second of it. How's it going, my friend? Good to see you, as usual. Great episode, a couple of nitpicks, but overall, I loved it. 8 out of 10. Wow. I wouldn't give it that high a score myself, personally. We'll see what the scoring comes out to tomorrow when we do our full review and breakdown, but I wouldn't give it a 8 out of 10. We'll have to see. There were a few things that bothered me a little bit too, but overall, I really enjoyed it. The Enterprise side shuttle bay door now on the port side. Oh, those aren't shuttle bay doors. Yeah, that was stupid where the clamps were. Those two like oval things. Those aren't shuttle bay doors. It's just fucking retarded. That's not what it is. So it was like docking clamps or like airlocks or something. I hated that. I thought that was dumb. And also when they detach the clamps, the one clamp like falls against the ship and kind of clanks on it. Like, wow, good job with the docking clamps there. Is Pella the Strange New Worlds Guinan? Could be, yeah. Makes me wonder though, if Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod is like the same race as her. Just because, you know, she's practically immortal by the sounds of it. Salty Trekker, I'm glad you like. Spock needs to work on his punch it line. Hypno Amber, the fight scene was entirely too long. Oh, the fight scene was way too long. Ridiculously too long and too dark. This whole episode was dark and muddy and gross. The planet colors were awful. The ship colors on the interior were just dark and crappy. So yeah, it was an awful, like, as I say in the review that we filmed earlier, I wanted episode 1 of a new season to be bright and colorful and kind of fun and not necessarily like, hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. Now let's get down into the muck and have an awful fucking episode that looks like crap. It's like, oh, well, yeah, but I didn't want to see that. I don't know. I feel like the episode could have been a second or third episode, not a season opener. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. Eric Martin throws in $5.50. Keep talking. I'm trying to finish up work for the day. Okay, Eric, thank you so much for being here. Docking clamps were odd. Olivia throws in $2. Have we seen the engineer species before? I don't believe so, no. I have it written down. Laurenites or something. No, I don't think we've heard of them before. Deo says the super serum soldier fight scene was unnecessary. Would have been better if they snuck around with knowledge of Federation ships. Agreed, 100%. Ozzy says Kirk did have a thing in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. at the end, heading Sir Kirk that way. Yeah, that way out there. He says that way out there, second star of the right straight until morning. He said a whole bunch of shit. It was never the same thing, Ozzy, so it's not a thing if he doesn't say it all the time. Salty Trekker says, yeah, I thought it was great for Spock and Mbanga, and the side stuff with La'an was good. That's not how you spell La'an. It's L-A. It's fucking whatever that is, and then A-N. But okay. Yeah, the fight scene dragged on, yes. The Federation needs to use metaphasic cloaking device. Sure. Mark says the fight scene was my least favorite part. Yes, I think I would agree with that. Masked Dingo Pella was cool. She knew exactly what they were up to and was into it because she was bored. Fleet Paw throws in $2. There can be only one, Chief Engineer. How much you want to make a bet that we're going to find out that Pella actually trained Scotty at Starfleet, and she's going to recommend him for the position on the Enterprise. So it's going to be her recommendation that gets Scotty on board the Enterprise at the end of this season or the end of next season or whenever. I would be willing to bet money on that. Bad Doctor, you don't freeze instantly in space. He didn't say you'd freeze instantly. He said you'd freeze after a minute and you'd go unconscious after 15 seconds. Salty Trekker, wait a minute. Are you saying too dark, but didn't you love Picard Season 3? I did like Picard Season 3, yes. But Strange New Worlds isn't known for being dark. Picard has always been stupid dark. Visually. So when I saw the Enterprise and I see the new Enterprise, I want to see it lit up a bit like that. The briefing room or the Captain's Ready room, I guess you'd call it, is always nice and bright. The sick bay looks bright. I want to see that kind of stuff. I don't want to see dirty, gross, disgusting, ugly planets. And everything else around Picard, well, not everything, most of the things around Picard Season 3 definitely lifted it up out of that quagmire of let's just focus on it being dark. So, Joseph Barbado, was the D7 the Discovery model? I don't remember. I think it's slightly different, but not much. Masked Dingo, I like the fight scene because they at least explained how the Doctor and Nurse could destroy Klingons. Andy Brennan, the circular projection room thing they film in makes everything seem dim. War God 6, I literally just finished it a few minutes ago. Almost perfect timing. Nice. I also love the dedication at the end and how Uhura was like, excuse me, this is my station. Get the fuck away from it. You know, but the dedication to Nichelle Nichols was great. Olivia throws in $5. Strange New Worlds needs more Pike. Where's my Pike? He's on a shuttle going to talk to a lawyer. Didn't you not pay attention? Paul Hitchcock, I think it's a little silly that Spock had emotional reaction, used his anger last season, and now it's like he has to go to rehab. Okay, at least I don't know how I feel about Mbanga being the one that gave him the Vulcan Lear. Actually have one up there, but just because, I guess I don't have a problem with it at all. I'll just move on. Hypno Amber. I got Strong City and Edge of Forever with that hypo they took to fight the Klingons. Fleet Paw says they talked about how dark Picard Season 3 was, Salty Trekker. It was one of their biggest complaints. BJ Tehran, fight scene reminded me of the Clarissa Mao and her mods in The Expanse. The super soldiery ability thanks to drugs and implants. Big Kinga, the new chief, is basically the mom from that 70s show. Not really like Kitty, I don't think. Smart Spears, I'm surprised I didn't manage to find the time to see it yet. I did watch some TOS, though. I'm still in Season 1. Just watched Dagger of the Mind for the first time. For the first time, seeing Dagger of the Mind? Oh, wow. That's cool. Peter says 550, Nurse Chapel, am I right? Jess Bush, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's in the thumbnail of this video for a reason, you know. Especially that picture of her, because her hair's all disheveled and she looks like, oh, she always looks good, but anyway. Sir Dork, good evening, Captain. Just jumping in, so hopefully no one has already mentioned it. But what was the deal with the Crossfield class? We already talked about that. There's a lot of explanations for that. We have a video coming out about that on Saturday that kind of dives into some of the reasons that it looks different than the Discovery. But still the same. Still the same saucer section. 100% the same. It looks scaled down a little bit, though. But we got a video coming out. If you're going to steal a ship, do it right. Hey, Steven, how's it going? Steven Fathery from Tex Trek is here. Good to see you, man. Mastingo, oh, I bet you were right about Scotty. Bet you are right about Scotty. Fleet Pa says, I think it would be cool if Hela taught Scotty and taught him everything, including how to be a miracle worker. Paul Hitchcock, I fully support Pila being the one who trained and recommended Scotty for the Enterprise chief engineer post. She taught Scotty how to estimate. Double the time, so when you do it, before that, you look like a miracle worker. Olivia Julius, $2. The guns moving on the Klingon ship was kind of cool. Yes, that is one thing we're going to be talking about in a future video on the D7. I didn't have a problem ever with the disruptors coming from the ends of the nacelles. Samuel, of course, had a problem with the disruptors coming from the ends of the nacelles in TOS. I thought it was fine. I mean, there's a lot of power there, plasma and whatnot. It's perfect to direct it right into the weapons. But this was cool to see the nacelle actually transform a little bit, like Optimus Prime, and get ready to fire. I like that aspect of it. So, yeah. BJ, you don't freeze that fast. Takes time to lose heat in a vacuum, and if in sunlight, your dead body would gain heat. Why spacecraft have radiators and sun shields? Lack of air is a killer. Okay. Yes, the bridge crew telling it to F off was funny. Telling IT to F off was funny. Fleet Pa says, I believe it was nearly the same D7 from Discovery. We barely saw her in Discovery, though. Yeah, we didn't see them much in Discovery at all after they fixed them. And it's probably 90% the same. Paul Hitchcock, excuse me, guys. The dedication to Nichelle Nichols was awesome and heartfelt. Sternbahn Alk, did I hear them correctly describe the ship as a Crossfield class? Yes, we've already talked about that. Mass Dingo, I said the same thing, BJ. It's a vacuum, no convection. Has this already been discussed? Yes, it has. We can talk about it again later, maybe. Neil Hammersmith, not sure about the new engineer. She sounds like the operator lady from Office Space. I think she's fantastic. So, Curtis Rendon, I found this episode moving, especially the first 10 minutes or so. Geraldine says, I'm over Spock being treated like a teen that knows nothing. Come on, man, grow a pair. Wow. Mastingo, I'm okay with Spock emotion stuff. He is still learning. I am too, actually. Salty Trekker, well, it must be going. Working on the Mbenga is a badass video. Mbenga is John Wick, is what he is. Oh, and I love the moving disruptors. Nice. Thanks for joining me, Salty. You need to come and visit more often so you can get, informed information and decisions. Fleet Paw, thanks for stopping by, Salty. Good to see you. Scotty's saying, my poor engines, it's Mr. Spock. The disruptors in the cells make sense. I think they do too. Toyota Tacoma, I saw someone post it that Boothby might be the same species as Pele. Oh, that'd be cool. I'd like that. Hypno Amber, I'm totally cool with the Spock emotion explanation. Good tie-in for the original pilot where he had more emotions. The problem is, Hypno Amber, my friend, the cage already happened in the timeline from where we are now. The cage happened in just before season 2 of Discovery. The first time you see Pike on Discovery, the cage happened prior to that. So that's already been long gone. William Bird, I enjoyed all the beauty shots of the ships. It's so fun to see ships fly through space. Amen. I will not disagree. Fleet Pa, Kala's Bird of Prey from the Final Frontier did that. The disruptors pumped like an action ship. Oh my god, why? Yeah, Claws, Bird of Prey, yeah. That actually kind of worked for me. I like that, but Speaking of, I do like the Klingon captain in this one. He seemed very familiar to me, and I don't know who he was, either actor wise or who the Klingon was supposed to be. I don't think it's a Klingon we're supposed to have known, but the way he talked and the way he presented himself felt very familiar. So I don't know what's up with that, but I like the guy, and I really thought the ending of Spock not being a typical Vulcan was great, and the fact that Spock actually embraced that, like, yeah, I guess I'm not your typical Vulcan. It's kind of nice. Uh, .com. Is it better that production value for newer shows is improved but more expensive, but now we only get 10 episodes per season rather than 23 to 25? Asking too much of studios for quality and quantity and quality. Yeah, I wish there was more episodes for a season for sure. I don't know. The new format for just all streaming shows seems to be 10 episodes. And I don't think it's all just because they're all, special effects heavy, because I don't think they all are. It's just a matter of the new format for storytelling, I guess. I wish there was more episodes, though. I really do. Sturm von Olk. I know they need their own identity as a show, but teeing up the Gorn as their primary big bad seems like a bad choice. Oh yes, for sure. Terrence Childs, I'm so glad to see that you have an original Constitution class on your screen instead of a Miranda class. Original Constitution class on my screen instead of a Miranda class. Okay, sure. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. BJ says Dr. Mbanga and Nurse Chapel have great chemistry. Mbanga is my favorite character. Yeah, I like Mbanga. Spock still has feelings for Chaplin. Who the fuck's Chaplin? I think you mean Chapel. Hypno Amber. Oh damn, I didn't know about the timeline for the cage. Yeah, it happened already. Yeah. Quite a little bit before season 2 of Discovery. Peter Lukaku, $11. Was the drug that Mbanga and Chapel took slow down time for them to be responsive? I don't know. I think it might be a combination of just increased strength and that slowing things down a tad. That's what it seemed to imply, but I don't know 100%. Ozzy corrected Chapel. I mean, yes. Fleet Palace says the cage was 2254, I believe. Season 1 was 2256 and 57. Yes. Big Kinga, do you think we'll be seeing the Constitution classes undergoing a refit this season to look like the classic? I mean, it has to be a reason the New Jersey was in Picard's museum. Okay. No, you're not going to see that because Strange New Worlds is the Discovery timeline, the Discovery reality, the Discoverse. No, it's not. It's Prime. No, it's not. I'm sorry, but it doesn't fucking link to anything else. It's hitched to Discovery. They're trying to make course corrections to make it closer to Prime, but it's not Prime. So I don't care what they say. It visually is not Prime. So the New Jersey being in Picard, that's linked to Prime. That's linked to TOS. Will they make straight struts on it before the end of the show, though? Probably. Will they make it look more like the TOS Enterprise? Maybe. I kind of doubt it, honestly. I think they might change the whole color to be more white, and they might replace the swap back struts with straight struts before the end of the show, like before the show is done. I would hope so. That's just how it should be. Do I have faith that they're going to do that? No. That ship was approved... was designed by John Hughes and Scott Snyder and was approved to have straight struts. There are pictures out there of that Strange New Worlds Enterprise with straight struts. It was approved that way and sent off to the visual effects team. Like, it was signed off on. John thought, okay, I got it in there with the straight struts. Then he sees it on screen and it's got angled struts because the visual effects team thought it would look cooler to put angled struts on it, so they changed it. And much to John's chagrin, I might add, because there's no way that Enterprise should have angled struts. It's just that simple. So are they going to fix it? I hope so, but I kind of doubt it, and I wouldn't count on it, first of all. Second of all, it doesn't need to because it's not prime timeline. As much as they want to tell you it's prime timeline, I don't give a fuck. It's clearly not. Visually, everything about it visually just says it's not. It's very close, and it's, you know, how they might have done it had they started the show now. I don't care about that because you know what? It's the TOS era has been a period. It's a period piece. It's been shown that way in all the other shows. Every time they recreated it, they did it faithfully. So, yeah, I don't think that they're going to necessarily tie it in. They're going to say it's prime. Oh yeah, it's 100% prime. It's prime. Ignore how it looks visually. It's fine. And a lot of people that I've talked to said that, oh, I don't care how it looks. It looks really good. And, you know, I'm just going to pretend that that's how it all looked. And fine. If you want to be like that, that's fine. But, you know, I know what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, because I've seen it in Deep Space Nine. I've seen it in Enterprise. I've seen it in TNG when they show the TOS era. So I have no qualms about saying it's an alternate reality. It's a disco verse, as we call it, because nothing in disco made any goddamn sense. So, anyway, sorry, that was a rant. The Klingon captain was from Star Trek VI, Undiscovered Country movie. It's not the same Klingon or actor, though. Everett Harris, the actor's name is Andrew Jackson. He does seem familiar, but I don't remember seeing him in any of his credits. Yeah, good Klingon though. The Klingon captain sounded very familiar. Mass Dingle, yep, makes sense given what we know about Spock in the future trying to help make peace with the Klingons. Yeah. Soft Dream, yay, I love the Klingon D7 and TOS, the fat wide warp wing pylons and flat nacelles. It's like the TMP Enterprise refit and the USS Discovery shapes came from the D7 design ideas. Other way around, actually. The original design and idea for the original design and idea for the Discovery by Brian Fuller was that the ship looked from a distance to be a Klingon design because of the shape of the secondary hull, and that was so it could infiltrate Klingon space. That was the original plan for the story. That's even why the hull color was different, so that it looked and felt more Klingon. I don't know exactly the rest of the story. I had read it a while ago of what the plan was, and it kind of made sense. Like the ship could be almost reconfigured to look Klingon. That's hence the rings on the saucer that could be changed or moved. Anyway, never went through with that, and unfortunately the design stuck with the color scheme because they already had the assets made. So when Brian Fuller was out and his ideas were gone, then they had to kind of just work with what they had. Hence the Klingons looking so goddamn stupid. Toyota Tacoma. I was so sure that Klingon was played by J.G. Hertzler, but apparently not. No, absolutely not. Donnie Pearson, hello. A time before Spock became uptight, something happened, and he became that way. He met Bones. Masked Dingo, yes. Agree. Gorn is a bad move, yes. Especially the Gorn that they have in Strange New Worlds. Another reason that it's not Prime. Ozzy Maderos, $5. The Klingon captain was from Star Trek Undiscovered Country. He was the general. I don't know about that. I don't think it was General Gorkon. Or Chancellor Gorkon, sorry. And it wasn't Chang, that's for sure. So I think you're wrong, Ozzy. Neil Hammersmith, the newer format is better in some ways because it eliminates the unwanted filler that we usually get from this show that has 24 run episodes. Disagree. You still get filler shit in these 10 episodes. 24 episodes gives you more time to play with the characters and get to know the characters and have character-centric pieces and episodes. Yes, there are more misses in those 24 episodes, but it's much more of a way to get to know your characters. So I disagree with you. I think very much that more episodes is good, even though you might get some duds in there, you get more character development, you get more storytelling potential, and you get a lot more bang for your buck, I think. So, and to say that there's no filler in the 10 episodes one is bullshit, because there's some definitely filler episodes, and not even filler episodes, just filler pieces of episodes. Like this one could have been a lot shorter had they not focused on the goddamn fight scenes for so long, because those were very, very protracted fight scenes. They were way too long, and just a blurry, muddy, dark mess of cinematography. It wasn't that good. Even the choreography, you can't see it. You can't see the moves that they're doing. Everything's just a goddamn blur. So it really didn't work. So that was filler in the episode. So, Fleet Paw, the Klingon was Captain T'Chak, played by Andrew Jackson, an actor from Ontario, Canada. He did feel familiar, but I can't place him. Yeah, Captain T'Chak. From Ontario, Canada. Ooh. BJ Tehran, I read that the shorter seasons are due in part to the actors today not wanting to make a big and long commitment to one show. 26 episodes eats a lot of time in a year of an actor's life and career. That's a stupid fucking reason. So instead of the Gorn, I would say done the Varisians. I don't know what the Varisians are. Or the Zindi. I meant Spock. Damn, man. The Kinzinti. There you go. Big Kinga. Okay, I can live with that. I never considered Disco Prime. Unfortunately, the Disco Connie was in Picard Season 1. Damn them. Yes, that's a problem. However, that was rectified in Picard Season 3 with the New Jersey class. Yes, the hologram at Starfleet, when he walks in and you see the Enterprise D, and then it switches to the Stranger Worlds Enterprise, we're like, oh, for fuck's sakes. And there's a lot of elements in Picard that are linked to the Discovery verse. So they're getting wishy-washy with their timelines, and I don't like that. So yeah, I understand that there's that problem with Season 1 of Picard, but at least it kind of got rectified in Season 3. So thank Terry Matalas for that. Come on. Sorry, I got a pug coming in here. Come on. Trying to get up. There you go. Sorry, she didn't come up with me initially. So now she wants to get in on the action. Oh, damn it. I hit my tripod. Oh no. We're going down. Alright. The whole fight scene was a trope of Hollywood's super warrior soldiers action scene. Slow motion, super strength, great reflexes. Could have been a parody with the right music. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Fleetpaw says, it's Akiva Goldsman. I doubt that he's going to change his baby. He's like Kuntzman. He wants to make his mark on shit. Yep. You're 100% right, Fleetpaw. Soft Dreams, alternate realities like TNG Parallels was a good example of different design changes to uniforms and computer stations when Worf kept shifting universes. Exactly. Mark Henson says we aren't in the TOS era yet. We're like a couple of years out from it. We've still seen what the fucking Enterprise looked like prior to this in the cage, and it doesn't fucking line up visually. So don't be fucking telling me we're not in the TOS era yet. That why it doesn't look like the TOS era. It doesn't look like the TOS era because the visual people on the show are morons, or not. Maybe not the visual people. Sorry, that's not their responsibility. It's the people in charge that are morons that made it visually not link in. It started out being 10 years before TOS. Now we're like 4 years out. A little bit like 4 years, 5 years. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, we're fucking very close to TOS. So that's not an excuse. That's not an answer as to why it looks different. Sorry. It never was. Big Kinga, I'm not even concerned with the visuals. It's the war that never happened with the Klingons that makes it a different timeline. Yes. Oh, and Section 31 never having an entire division. I need a drink. Amen. I need a drink too. Big Kinga, you and I are on the same page. Love you, man. War God 6. To me, Disco and Strange New Worlds is all NX timeline, which is its own timeline. I like angled pylons, but rather it be straight. 2 sticks with the original. Burnham, the thing with, okay, I like the angle struts too. Don't get me wrong, they look fantastic. But it makes the refit, when it becomes the refit, becomes so much less special. Because going from the TOS Enterprise with the straight struts to the refit with the swept back struts was such a beautiful, like, oh my god. To now have it have angled struts, and I'd be like, okay, the new one has angled struts. Who gives a shit? Burnham's mother going back with a magic space time angel suit created multiple branch realities. Any reality with Michael should not be prime. There you go. Perfect. Peter Lukaku 220. The obvious. The ship scenes are video gamey. Neil Hammersmith. From what I saw in interviews, in New Jersey was a fan service to the nod to TOS. Strange New Worlds is pushing for new and modern aesthetics. Braga mentioned when making Enterprise, it was hard to stay with 19th. I don't give a fuck. You can update 1960s aesthetics and have them look modern. We've talked about this multiple times on the channel over the years. Many ways to do it and still have it look the same, feel the same, yet be a little bit tweaked. I don't give a fuck if you're talking about 1960s aesthetics and you can't make them look good for modern TV. That's horse shit. That means you have no goddamn creativity. I fucking don't buy that excuse for a goddamn second. And yes, the New Jersey was a nod to TOS, as it should be. It was also a nod to Terry's hometown, where he grew up, where he was born, New Jersey, and the year he was born, 1975. So, you know, it's kind of a fan servicey thing put in there for him, and that's fine. But whatever. BJ says it's a lot easier to enjoy it by not considering it prime timeline. Would make the technical books easier to write and edit. Parallel universe encyclopedias, they should just make the break like Star Wars. Yeah. The 2009 alternate universe created a ripple effect which caused Discoverse. Sure. TNG looked more real than this. Okay. War God 6. IMDb will probably be updated, but currently on the screen caps, it just shows Spock's actor. No name to the actor of the Klingon as of now, anyway. Fleet Paw said, problem with having like 80 showrunners in season 1, like too many ideas, like cooks in the kitchen spoils recipe. Yes. Changing showrunners multiple times in a season and having to course correct to finish off the vision the other person had that you thought was fucking stupid and change it to your own vision, which is also stupid, and then get fired for it and then have somebody else come in and take your stupid fucking vision and do their own thing with it, really affects the quality of a show. And that's how the show started. Even before it was fucking released, Brian Fuller got left. He got fired, but he left due to creative differences. He got fucking fired. And unfortunately, all the sets were built, the ship was done, the Klingon design and aesthetic was established, and they couldn't do much else with what they had, except for do what they did. There you go. Now you can lay down. It's still too darkly lit. I agree, DGR. Good to see you, man. Mark, longer seasons allow duds that don't bring down the entire season down. Exactly. I mean, Strange New Worlds has the advantage of being episodic. Yes, there's still some serialized arcs, but it's very much episodic. So if there's one bad episode, there's one bad episode. Same with TNG. Same with all the old episodic shows. Problem when you get with like Picard and Discovery and all that shit with a serialized arc, if there's one bad episode, it affects the entire fucking story because it's one story, and that's the problem. So I prefer longer seasons. Maybe we compromise on 16 episodes. I wouldn't disagree. Eric Martin throws in $20. I haven't seen an episode yet, but I'm enjoying the discussion. Thank you very much, Eric. You need to see the episode, my friend. $20 is a drink, a shot. And I will go with some of my apple Crown Royal. Let's see. We have 87 people here right now with 48 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get the likes up to 75. I think we can do it. I know we can do it. You guys are awesome. And hitting the like button is easy. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. All right. So, as Eric did $20 super chat, that is a shot. And I will have the Crown Royal apple. So, out of my Skynet shot glass. I should have used my Jurassic Park one. God damn it. I also just bought a Wonderfest one at Wonderfest, but I got my Jurassic Park. So, anyway, cheers. Love that apple Crown Royal. All right. Mass Dingo, Picard season 1 and 2 are Discoverse, and 3 is Prime. Fleet Paw Swift back. I still say that the current generation of live action is a timeline that splintered off after the events of Enterprise and the temporal Cold War. Yep. Mark says at least they weren't on Metallus Prime. I know. Everett Harris, based on something Akiva said on Wes Wheaton's show, they really wanted to fit in our shoehorn Mbenga to have a fight scene since Ulyss and Malka it was an accomplished martial artist. Cool. Oh, they did it. Fuck, I haven't been coughing for days and now I'm coughing. Chuck Jones, what's your opinion of Pella, the new engineer? I love her. I think she's great. She's going to be fun to have around. I like her attitude. I love that Carol Kane, she's playing the same character essentially as she did in Scrooged. She was Ghost Christmas Present. Kind of that kind of feel, and I like that. I think it's going to be fun to have her around. Big Kinga, oh hell, maybe Q snapped it all away when he brought Picard back. That could legit be an answer. Someone tell Metellus we can save Trek. Yes, perfect answer. Eric, yes, Disco and Picard season 1 and 2 both have poor writing in common. Says, super strength serum in Star Trek. Where was that stuff when Kirk needed it against Khan? Ozzy says, I was thinking of Brigadier General Klingon when he went Kirk McCoy. Brigadier General Kurla, I think was his name. It's a different name too. Terrence Childs, did the United Federation of Planets issue a draft during the Dominion War? Probably not. Fleet Plus says, I hope Hella doesn't get the hammer treatment. That was bad. Mark says, we're 5 years out from where no man has gone before. There you go. That makes sense, and I appreciate highlighting the actors' unique skill sets. However, in my opinion, it lacked creativity and detracted from the whole trauma in combat vets thing they were going. Yeah. That cobbled together Crossfield saucer with aft section and interesting hybrid ship type. Interesting hybrid ship. Yes. I actually really liked the Crossfield class they had here. Cap, you got con crud. No, I was sick before Wonderfest, and got better, and I was feeling great, and then I've been feeling great since I got back until this fucking live where I'm talking a lot, and it's making me cough. I didn't get no com crud, whatever the fuck that is. I assume that's you get a sickness from a convention, but no. Nice try, but no. Mark Henson, I agree with they are morons, but I'm just saying it's getting closer and closer. The visuals are looking closer to TOS all the time. Screw Disco anyway. Stranger Worlds at least uses switches and buttons versus touchscreens. Yeah, but I'm still saying it's never going to fucking line up to look like TOS, but the way it looks now. There's no way. There's no way you go from what it looks like now to TOS. Absolutely none. it's its own thing. It should they should have done it differently. BJ said if they stuck to canon like Star Wars and old Trek, Disco and Strange New World should look like TOS, but with an Enterprise and the original cast films filter applied to the details of interior sets and ships. Donnie says, I myself hope that by the time of the final Strange New Worlds episode, the Connie class Enterprise would get refitted or retrofitted to the 2265 version, albeit enhanced for the modern fans. Andrew gets sanded silly. I agree that it should look more TOS. Thank you, Mark. Joe Cronin Show, $10. Awesome and terrible at the same time. Spock isn't Spock. All men stink. I'm going to pretend a feminist wrote this, and at the end of the series, closes a book and says, that's how I would have written Star Trek. Oh my goodness. Spock, I want those ships to moan now. What? Dustin. Joe Cronin Show, and we find out this whole series is a fantasy story a woman wrote who loves Trek. Paul Hitchcock, I don't know what they'd have to do with Larry Niven to include them, but they should have used the Kinzinti instead of the Gorn. That would have worked better on several levels. I agree, and they wouldn't have to do much. I mean, Kinzinti's already been mentioned. Kinzintis have been on screen, man. They've been in Star Trek 4. There are Kinzinti and Cation officers in the stands of the trial for Kirk and Spock. There's two cat creatures. One's Kinzinti, one's a Cation. And the Kinzintis were mentioned in season 2 of Picard, and they've been mentioned a few times, actually, I think. So, Fleetpaw says, I think you watched a different episode than we did, Joe. I didn't see any of that here. Soft Dreams. Yeah, the USS Senjo was more advanced than the TOS Enterprise and Discovery. If I redid TOS, I would kept everything true, like what DS9 did with the Enterprise when they showed it the Constitution class. Yeah, that's how you should do it. And like I've said this many times, I'm going to say it again. I can't believe it. I've probably said this more than anything else in my goddamn life. If you want to make the TOS bridge look and feel new, let's just imagine you're in the turbolift. You come up, turbolift doors open, the bridge is all black. All of a sudden the lights, all the ceiling lights go on, you see the black panels. They're all black. There's no buttons on them. What? Are they touchscreen? Computer activate, whatever. All of a sudden see all the banks fire up, all the flashing lights, and then on the consoles where you got the round jelly bean buttons, all you see is this like blink, 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 and then you see zoop, ping, and you see like a little thing pop up above the surface, maybe about that far off the surface of the actual console. Pops up a little white dot of light that doesn't unfold, but turns into red, yellow, blue, green buttons that are round or square. They take the shapes of the TOS ones. And what they are is tactile holograms. We already have developed tactile holograms. There was an article about that a few years ago. Literally a hologram that you can touch with your finger. All that has to be is that. And then you can have reconfigurable panels that still look all TOS, especially when you're standing like a couple feet away. It looks like TOS jelly bean buttons. But they're not. They're tactile buttons that float just a little bit off the surface of the console. That's how you make TOS look exactly like TOS, but visually updated for a modern audience who's like, the 1960s aesthetics looks stupid. I don't like the jelly bean buttons. Just fucking annoys me. So there are ways to visually update the TOS look. Sorry. Anybody that disagrees, I don't know what to tell you. Can't emphasize how terrible an idea it is to go with the Gorn. Why? I will forgive them if a dude shows up in the original armor costume. Soft Dreams. Why does every alternate reality have to have an Enterprise? Why not a totally different ship and name? DGR Blue. I don't care much for serialized shows, part of why I can't get into most anime. Fleetpaw, they aren't trying to do any of that dark multiverse 24/7. Trekyards calls out what works and what doesn't. Shows have course corrected by what they've critiqued. You're not wrong. Terrence Childs, I just found out recently how come Federation ground forces don't wear body armor. It's because they have personal shield generators. Cool. Shay, Locomotive Productions, just got an email from Rick Sternbach on Prometheus book. Nice, man. Good job. Sorry I stole the last one. It's for Sam, though, so it's actually his fault. Ryan K, a couple little issues, but otherwise like the episode. Have to agree with that. BJ says, with the Federation losing 100 million people in the Klingon War, the Klingon fleet reaching Earth, as seen in Disco, the Klingons really won big. The Federation should be in political chaos. Yeah, nothing about that made any sense. Not your comment, but of the war and them getting all the way to Earth and being like called back. Like, no. Curtis Rendon, I think Carol King will make an interestingly quirky chief engineer. Agreed. Mark says, I can't remember the actor's name, but the Klingon that Mbenga treated is in a lot of stuff. Good actor. We need to see a Daedalus class starship. I will agree with you, Casey. DGR Blue says, hope you are well, Cap. I am, absolutely. Ryan K. Like how Klingons look in this episode, but at the same time, they could have just kept it as they were in the other shows. No need to reinvent the wheel. Stingo, nice Captain. Tactical holograms. I effing love it. Mark Henson, you gotta have jelly beans. Again, they're just holograms instead. Jeff W. Looks like they found a use for those Section 31 drones. That's what I thought. There it says, for us that grew up with TOS, know it as the best, and no remake can change it. Mastingo, I introduced my girlfriend to Star Trek. She never saw any of it before. She agrees TOS is the best. Paul Hitchcock, I did not know the Kanzinti stuff showed up in Star Trek 4. Yep. .com, is excessive coughing an early symptom of Rigelian fever? Just saying, Trek fans can be a likely vector. Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, I really liked the episode overall. I had no issues with the Spock stuff. I kind of liked that by the end of it, he's like accepting that it's a different kind of Vulcan. There's even the reference by Chapel where she's like, yeah, Vulcans can surprise you sometimes. Stealing the Enterprise was awesome. Seeing the establishing shot of the starbase and like going by the Enterprise, and you see the little one nacelled ship that's not the Saladin class, but should be. That was in the first or second episode of the first season, where it's like a crew of 6, but it's such a small little ship. We're going to talk about the scale of it, but the single nacelled one, and you see the Enterprise and all the service, like it's really cool. There's some really good visuals there for sure. Seeing the D7 was great. Seeing the new Crossfield class was awesome. And yes, there's a lot of reasons why it could be called the Crossfield. That could be the actual Crossfield class design. And both the USS Glenn and the USS Discovery were both heavily modified to accommodate the Spore Drive. And the Spore Drive took up quite a huge section of the secondary hull of the Discovery. So it makes perfect sense that if they wanted to use the saucer section, which had the negative space ring in it, that you would in fact have a secondary hull replacement that you could just use the saucer. So they were technically Crossfield classes, but they weren't Crossfield classes, if you know what I'm saying. So I think that's great. I really like that design. It was very kit bashy, but it absolutely worked, especially for a TOS design. That's how you kit bash a TOS design and have it look good. So that was great. Seeing the D7, of course, was cool. Seeing a new feature of the D7 with the nacelles doing the transform with the weapons thing. Again, very, very cool. Always love seeing Jess Bush. That sounded awful. It sounded like I said, I always love seeing Jess's Bush. I mean, hey. But her as Nurse Chapel, fantastic. I didn't like the fight scenes, but I like Mbanga. So it was a good team up for me, but I wish it would have been handled a little bit differently. I wish we get some more concrete answers about what's going on with the ship. Was it totally constructed there? Was it parts from, it was part of a wreckage from like the Klingon War where they recovered most of it and then they had to make repairs to it? I wish there was more of an explanation for that kind of stuff. There probably never will be. Ortigas in it was great. The whole, can you vent plasma from the work nacelles? I can. Should I? It was great. She was awesome. La'an was kind of not really present in this one, even though she didn't really have a big, presence. Pike, of course, buggered off, but what we saw of Pike was awesome. I really don't give a shit about Una. I don't care about that storyline at all, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next episode. I don't care. I don't like her character. I don't like the actress. I mean, number one in the cage is all right, but anyway, so that didn't really faze me at all. The new chief engineer, absolutely love her. Carol Kane is awesome, and she's still as quirky as ever, and I love it. I love it. I love that she's essentially immortal as far as we know, and you know, was hiding on Earth in plain sight with humans until the 22nd century. That's amazing. So lots to learn about her character, which is awesome. What is with the kid? By the way, what is with the kid down in the transporter room? I've heard nobody talk about this, and even I forget to talk about it each time I've talked about this episode so far. What is with the kid down in transporter room? He's like 12. What's that about? Is that referencing something? I have no idea. What? Anyway, whatever. I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. Probably not. Uhura was awesome. The dedication to Nichelle Nichols at the end was on point. That was amazing. Especially in an episode where Uhura's telling the guy to get the fuck away from her station because I don't need the upgrades right now, kind of thing. That was cool. Spock. Like I said, Spock, and I liked his arc, honestly. I love that it ended with him drinking with the Klingons and having a hangover. And April basically just saying, consider that Klingon hangover your punishment. And then to know that there's another problem arising with the Gorn, which they didn't want to battle on two fronts. So I kind of thought that was cool. Yeah, there's a lot to love in this episode, honestly. But I don't think I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I love it when Captain does his Elmer Fudd impersonation. Makes me laugh. Well, I'm not impersonating Elmer Fudd, but okay. BJ says, I think Star Trek could benefit from alternate timelines as shows, like a timeline with Earth occupied by the Klingons and some humans serving as part of the Klingon Empire while others rebel. Yeah, there should be a Star Trek What If show. What if the Borg had won at the Battle of World 359? Oh, they did. Never mind. You know, what if the Borg had won at the Battle of Sector 001? Oh, they did. Picard had to go fix it. But there's a lot of what if scenarios in Star Trek. It would be cool to have a Star Trek What If show. Fleetpaw says, I thought it might have been Tellurian Plague. War God 6. To me, Spock looked a little tipsy after the blood wine. I like seeing Robert April again. Yes, he was. He was hungover. My God, Spock, are you hungover? Or they just gave the name to a new class? No, Jeff W. There's too many similarities between the class we saw tonight and the actual Crossfield class. Like the saucer is verbatim the saucer. Even the saucer or the sphere in the middle. Trust me, we do a comparison video. So it could be that it moved to the next iteration of the Crossfield class. I don't know. We'll have to see. To quote the Klingon toast, I can't fucking speak Klingon. There's just a bunch of letters thrown together. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. But it basically means may your blood burn from the alcohol. Shay says, was there another Constitution class beside the Enterprise? Like it's Space Dock? No, I don't think so. I think there was like, I can't remember the name of the class. The single nacelled one, not the Saladin class. I know that's the single nacelled in Franz Joseph, but the single nacelled ship that was there was from season 1. Can't remember. Anyway, that was there. I think on the other side was the whatever class the Farragut class was in the last episode of last season. If I recall correctly. I'll have to take another look, but Do you think we'll see an episode that has April take temporary command of the Enterprise? I'm sure we will, yes. War God 6. Hope we see more Strange New World ships, such as the Miranda and Constellation class. Fans made TOS style. Maybe Strange New Worlds could canonize them. Even some passive ships and maybe a Dreadnought. Yeah, I would love a Dreadnought. Cool idea. They could really lean into multiple timelines and show some universe other than the mirror universe. BJ says, agreed. Allow more creativity. No worries about canon. Captain Corky says the Megatron-inspired nacelles on the D7 were awesome. Fleetpaw says Una is going to be the focus of either 2 or 3. When I put the Facebook spoiler post together, I saw promotional clips from or pictures from episode 2 and 3, and it was Una's Tribunal. Well, of course. Michelle Hurd in The Walking Dead, Dead City. Is Michelle okay? Jeff W. Does Michelle Hurd play Maggie? Because I'm currently watching Walking Dead and I'm on like season 7, and I can't stand Maggie. I can't stand the actress. I can't stand the character. I hate her fucking voice. I hate her accent. I just want to punch her in the throat. So, yeah. Anyway. That tribute at the end did bring a tear to me eye. BJ says, I don't care about Una either. It's a shame. But number 1 in the cage is my favorite character. She is so professional and takes charge. Great for a 1960s TV show. Hypno Amber, ugh, sorry, sent that too soon. Ortega's was fantastic. Mastingo, I don't want to be transported by anyone other than O'Brien. Big Kinga, Spock hangover was epic. Polishcock, did you see the trailer for the Babylon 5, the Road Home animated movie? No. Says, how Disco should have ended on episode 1, going boom like the Crossfield class in the episode. Hypnomember, I love that first-person view of coming through the transporter. It was amazing. Yeah, freaky. Paul says, Shay, I think that was a Farragut-class ship, not another Connie. Eric Martin, your friend who drove to Wonderfest is very entertaining. That's my buddy Blappy, yes. He's a character. BJ says the transporter plus the saucer is likely what led to the conclusion that the Kit Bass ship was Crossfield class by Enterprise bridge officers. You say that, but they weren't just going on visuals, because earlier in the episode they said, I thought transponders only gave the name and class of a ship as information when it pings. He's like, yes, it does, but I'm going to modify it with a slight message. And Uhura was receiving the pings. So she would have corrected them and said, it's not a Crossfield, it's a this class. But she didn't, which means it's a Crossfield class. Even though Mitchell said, I think it's a Crossfield class. A Crossfield class is no match for a Klingon battlecruiser. Uhura was getting the pings from the transponder. She would know the ship name and the ship class. We never once heard the name. She never reported that information. So it's very likely that she maybe didn't report the actual class information either. And it looks like a Crossfield class from a distance. I could buy that as well. I don't buy that. I don't think that's what happened. But anyway, there you go. Do you think they will fix the Gorn or stick with the Xenomorphs? I think they'll stick with the Xenomorphs. If they have an explanation that the Xenomorphs were an experiment or a subspecies of Gorn, and the actual Gorn do show up, I would be thoroughly happy and over the moon that they've corrected their fuck up. Do I think that's going to happen? No. No, I don't. I absolutely do not. Captain yeah. Jeff W., the other Constitution class, maybe that smaller version from the first Gorn episode in season 1. Yes, the USS Peregrine, which was a Sombra class ship, which was a fucking Constitution class ship to Thaler. That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard, but okay, we'll go with it. Yeah, the Sombra class ship, USS Peregrine. Mastingo, adult Gorns will be different, but they aren't going to be the rubber Gorn we know. Well, we've seen multiple Gorns over the years. We've seen Gorn in Enterprise and Emir Darkly. We've seen Gorn in the Star Trek video game from 2009, which the Gorn looked really cool in that. We also saw Gorn in Lower Decks, which actually looked like the Gorn from TOS. So there's probably different versions of the Gorn. I don't have a problem with them as long as they look and act Gorn. It's fine. The fucking Xenomorph piece of shit that we saw in the first season was bullshit. When it's young, I don't fucking care. You know what? But then show us an adult. Show us a fucking medical thing saying this is what they look like, born an adult, and have the adult look like the TOS one. We'd be like, okay, cool, sweet, that's awesome. Moving on. But no, they didn't do that. So we're like fucking Xenomorphs. Bullshit. Easy fix. Guy in a rubber costume, one line. They've evolved. They fly now? Gene Iwaski Jr. I'm wondering if, in the end, canon will basically be going to 2 types of Klingons to 3 types of Klingons. Basically, since they volunteered on the screen, I guess that's really what it is now. We've talked about the Klingon thing multiple times. There's many answers, many ways you could fix it, many ways you could include all the fucking goddamn versions of Klingons. Are they going to do it? Probably not, because they're fucking idiots. But hey. Let's make a drink. And the Nichelle tribute was very nice. Yes, absolutely. Mark says the sensor readout when the Crossfield first appeared looked like a Constitution class. Okay. BJ says the transponder is from the Crossfield from a Crossfield class, very likely salvaged it along with the saucer section of a Crossfield class ship and added other bits. I'd buy that too. But it's still a cool ship. Still a cool design. Gene Iwaski Jr. I read a descriptive video, so I could keep up with everything that was going on, but I still don't understand the green hypo juice with the doctor in chapel. I don't think anybody does, Gene. It's never explained. I'm sure it will be at some point, but it hasn't been yet. DGR Blue, remember, Worf mentioned the Soyuz class. Okay. Shay says they fixed the Klingons to acceptable. Now they need to do the same for the Gorn. Yeah. Mastingo, agree. The Nichelle tribute was cool to see. Fandance's legend. Hello, boys. DGR says when they came up on the Fed ship in cause and effect. That's because it was a Soyuz class ship. There's many different Miranda variants. It wasn't a Miranda class that hit them. So, I don't know what you're saying. He read the class correct. If you're saying that, I don't know what you're saying. I'm just going to move on. Jeff W. That's it. I just couldn't think of the class name. Fleet Pass said the smooth-headed Klingons were actually a very small percentage of the whole population. I think the disco ones were the small percentage as well. Most Klingons look like the ones in TNG. Yes, not what. All right. FASA. FASA established it the perfect way. There were Imperial Klingons, which are the ridge-headed Klingons. Then there were other Klingons that were part of the Klingon Defense Force that were stationed at different parts in Federation space. The ones near the Federation border were surgically altered. In fact, it was surgically, not, problem with genetics. They're surgically altered to appear human so that they can more easily infiltrate Federation space. And when the Federation did contact them and they appeared on screen, the Federation wouldn't know still what an actual Klingon looked like the Imperial homeworld Klingons. The same thing could be said on the Romulan side of their borders, where they had Klingons that were surgically altered to appear Romulan for the very same reason. So that explained all the human-like, smooth-headed Klingons in TOS. Then Enterprise comes along, does the genetic manipulation thing, and that kind of like, I like that. That works. And that was only a small percentage of them as well, which would that translate into smooth-headed Klingons in TOS, like 80 years later? Could possibly be. It could be that they thought, hey, you're a smooth-headed Klingon, you can patrol the Federation border and actually, maybe do some infiltrating for us. It could be that they went back home and had, bread, and that their kids had smooth heads, or like small ridges, whatever. Who knows? So there's a lot of ways to explain the Klingon thing, and I have no real issue with the way they've kind of got it set right now. The Discovery ones are just fucked right off, and that's perfect. But yeah, we've talked about that like ad nauseum. We've done complete videos and lives talking about ways they could fix the Klingon situation. So, hope that helps. Captain Corky, you even got a version in Star Trek Online where the Gorn are huge compared to humans. Yeah, those ones as well. Morty Reiber. La'an is such a non-interesting character. Yes and no. I didn't like her much in season 1. But the last couple of episodes of season 1 really kind of hooked me on her. And now I'm kind of like intrigued and I like her. Hope we see more of her, obviously. But the fairy tale Kingdom of Elysium, or whatever it was called, episode really won me over. Because she sang. And you got to, see her lungs in action. And she saw a softer side of the actress, which I really appreciated. So, yeah, I kind of like her now. Uninteresting to a certain degree, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. God damn it. DGR Blue, time to get back to work. May not get back before the live is over. Good night, all. Good night, DGR. Good to see you, man. Cheers to you. Mass Dingo, indeed. They never said that all Klingons were affected the same way by augment virus. No, there's no way that they would all be infected. Gene says that's pretty much the problem with all new Trek. It's so dark you can't make anything out. None of the movies were this dark. Yeah. PJ says, I like the Crossfield class in the episode 2. Surprised it was able to fight off the Enterprise for so long, as it wasn't well built or rebuilt. It wasn't about fighting them off. It was just taking pock shots at them. The Enterprise wasn't firing back. Because as you saw, like one hit and boom. Hypno Amber, I'm telling you, the green hypno juice was a throwback to the hypo in the city on the edge that McCoy instantly shot up. Even the eye shot, but like an homage. Nah. No, it's definitely not the same. What the hell was that called now? Because too much of that drives you insane, which is what happened to McCoy. They fucking put in a whole vial of this shit in this episode, and they didn't go insane. They just got, like, super strong. It's not the same stuff. Cortisol? I don't remember what it's called. Hyrolin? Yeah, it's not the same shit. No. Eric Martin, the only thing I like about the Disco Klingons is Sam's impersonation of T'Kuvma. Puts me on the floor everyone. Kalash. Jess is here. How's it going, Jesse? Gene Iwaski Jr., and I want us to set a standards for the Warp Effect. Give me back the Rainbow Starfield, please. It was one of the most beautiful things about 24th century and Enterprise Trek. Shay says, might be the only one, but I like La'an, and she is hot. I don't find her overly attractive. I find Nurse Chapel much more attractive. Even Ortega's more attractive than La'an. But La'an, I didn't find her at all attractive when the show started. But as I said, she's kind of grown on me, and kind of got a soft spot for her now, so. Good Tea Nice House throws in $7. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Captain. Not sure if anybody asked you to say the thing yet. If you say if you had to say the thing, what would it be? Oh, the thing. I would probably do punch it, but that's. I had one worked out when they would talk about that with the 709 thing. What the hell did I have? I would probably do something like punch it. That's just kind of the way I am. Floor it, maybe, because I'm kind of a car guy, but it would be. I have to be the chair. I'd have to get a feel for it because I would honestly just say engage or warp, initiate warp, or like it doesn't. There doesn't have to be a thing. Now all of a sudden there's a thing. Like there was never a thing. Kirk never had a thing. Kirk always had like second star to the right and straight on until morning, or out there, that away, that kind of shit. That was his thing. But it was never the same. So it's not really a thing then, right? Unless his thing is to just always have something different to say. That could be the case. Picard always said engage or make it so. Engage was Janeway's. Like, I don't know. I'd have to think about that and kind of come up with a good one. Let's fly is fucking stupid. Warp me is awful. I want the ship to go now. Hypno Amber, and that was her actual dog in that episode too. She said the furry character was her real life personality. Aw. Plus, that was a nice dress. Eric Martin, $20. An apple shot a day keeps the cough away. All right. I love the way you think, my friend. More Crown Royal apple for the captain. This is the way. Oh. Cheers to you, my friend. Cheers. Felt good on the throat. Hi, Rollin. Jeff W. would be twisted if the On sing and Kirk hook up. Yeah. Fleetball. Enterprise killed the Crossfield with 3 photons, although it was an unworthy opponent. It also had shields down and had no power, so even the structural integrity field would have been compromised. BJ says, I like La'an. She should be number 1 instead of Una. She fits the original part the best, I think, for The Cage, which is my favorite pre-TOS episode for me. Fleetpaw says, kiddish. Morty Rybar. They had the cut right Indiana Jones drinking scene in this episode, too. Oh, yeah. With the blood wine. Mastingo, yep. I also don't like the current warp effect. Oh, it's fucking stupid. I agree with you. It's fucking dumb. That dude Vince, I enjoyed today's episode. Could have been better. Yeah. Ryan K, the whole bit about the thing was funny in my opinion, but at the same time it's stupid. Everyone doesn't need one. Perfect example is Kirk. If I recall correctly, he ordered warp drive. That was it. Yeah. Mastingo. I said the same thing. Oh, this is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Stephen Fath3 says, I think Kirk says take us out twice. So maybe that can be his thing. But take us out is out of space dock. That's not initiating warp. That's not the thing. The thing is warp. Punch it, hit it, go. Not take us out. Because everyone says take us out. That's just standard naval parlance for get us the fuck out of the dock. or the dry dock or the space dock. So no, Steven, I have to disagree with you. Ryan K, I think only Picard had one with engage. Hypno Amber, mine would have been let's pop this pasty. Let's pop a pasty, burlesque style. Ooh, I like that. Jeff W, Colonel Mitchell from Stargate SG1, Arc of Truth on the Odyssey. Just make it go. Warp it is fucking stupid too. Stephen Fathry, Cisco did not have one unless it's commander. I said launch torpedoes. I was trying to think of what Cisco's was, and yeah, he didn't have one. Because it was never a thing until it was all of a sudden now it's a thing. Let's fly. What? It's fucking so stupid. Gene Owoski Jr., are they de-aging Carol Kane? She's 70 years old, but you look at her face, it's all plastic surgery de-aging her. She's at plastic surgery de-aging her. Yeah, they're not de-aging her at all. She looks good. Fleet Pop, Picard, Janeway, and Cisco always used engage. Lorca used go. Freeman's warp me is cringe. Riker's give me warp in the factor of 5, 6, 7, 8. Makes my skin crawl. Yeah, it's just fucking... I hate that one too. Shay says, I like the take us to warp you picked in Star Trek Resurgence. What was the Star Trek Resurgence one? It wasn't take us to warp. It was it's an old naval term. I don't know. I can't remember. I prefer engage or execute. Well, execute could mean the wrong thing. You could have people lined up in the bowling alley at the back of the ship, and with swords to their necks, and as soon as you say execute, it's broadcast over the speakers, and then you have the wrong situation happening on your ship. Execute's a bad one. Mastingo, I say warp it when playing Bridge Crew. Sorry. Don't be sorry. BJ Tehran, La'an, Chapel, Ortigas, and T'Pring are all great women acting and looks. I wish I was lost in space with them. La'an, yeah, she's alright. Chapel, fuck yeah, she's top tier. Ortigas, she's mid tier. T'Pring, she's top tier. Yeah. He didn't say Una. She's low. Not very good. Not very nice for me. Clone of Jonathan. Cordrazine. New me hasn't created a channel yet, so I've been yelling at it at the screen. Cordrazine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Eric Martin. Kirk used to say steady as she goes a lot. Again, not at warp. That's usually when they're doing something else. Hypno Amber, Carol Kane still looks that amazing. Proof that being your weird self your whole life keeps you young. BJ says engage should be standard to like take us out. Cisco said engage. Bacasta, I do devious things on a holodeck with Dr. Aspen. Angel. Oh yes, Angel. Hypno Amber. I've been trying to type that damn word for 5 minutes now, lol. Also, that hypo was red, not green. But if you look at the eyes... shot, to me it's an homage. Why? They never fucking zoomed in on McCoy's pupils going dilating. So how is that an homage? He fucking like... and then it takes off. You don't get to zoom in on his eyes. How is that an homage? That's not in any way an homage. I disagree with you, sir. Can't think of anything simpler than engage. Yeah, me either. Jeff W. Some people just look healthier than others at 70. Mass Dingo. What? How dare you? Warp It is amazing. Make way. Make way. Make way is the one that was used in Resurgence. Thank you so much. Make way. This is not really impactful. That's more like a let's leave space dock kind of one. Make way. Make way out of my way, peasants. Make way for the king. It's not very like warp. It's like make way. I'll have to go back and replay that game, replay that part and pick a different one. Ryan K, I don't think you can do any better than engage. Jackie Gleason, and away we go. That's a good one. We're to the moon, Alice. Fleetpaw, if I had to choose a thing, if I was forced to choose a thing, it would be either all ahead or balls to the wall. Yeah, that's a good one. Do you know where that expression came from, Fleetpaw? You probably do. The throttles on the old World War II planes had little balls on the top of them, and balls to the wall meant basically that they were pushed full forward, right to the balls to the walls. So, birth defect 1186, anchors away, my boys. Good tea, nice house. Captain Jellicoe, get it done. Perfect. Shay says, I would pick full steam ahead. Still doesn't have the punch that it should, you know? Full steam ahead. Yeah. Pastingo, full steam ahead is pretty great. Heads up. Original Pike said engage. That dude Vince. Been seeing some channels mad that Spock may have a sex drive outside of Pond Bar. Was it ever said that Vulcans? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Whatever channel that is fucking stupid. Vulcans have sex all the fucking time. They can have sex whenever, but every 7 years they have to have sex biologically or they will die. 7 years is like, it's an uncontrollable instinct to have sex. Vulcans can have sex any goddamn time, but Pon farr every 7 years has to happen. That's different. It's a biological imperative that every 7 years you need to have sex or you're going to die. I mean, it's a pretty good excuse. I've used it multiple times, but they can still have sex all the other times. I don't understand people that are that fucking stupid. They're the same people that say, why in Star Wars are the stormtroopers not clones? Or are they clones? No, the stormtroopers by the time Star Wars, A New Hope rolls around, are not clones. They are conscripted individuals. That's why they're different heights. Most of the clones are old or dead by that point. So you're not going to create more clones necessarily. I don't know what happened to Camino, but this is just this fucking around. Because people are fucking stupid, unfortunately. And Klingons, Vulcans can have sex anytime they fucking want. So I don't understand the problem. But Pon farr only every 7 years. Yes, Pon farr is only 7 years. But it doesn't mean you only have sex every 7 years. That's a fantastic way to annihilate your fucking species, you dumb fucks. No, that's the most illogical fucking thing I've ever goddamn well heard. They can have sex whenever. You just have to have sex every 7 years. It's that simple. It's not that fucking difficult. I don't know why people... It's not fucking rocket surgery. Yes, I said that on purpose. Like, seriously. What the fuck is wrong with people? Clone of Jonathan. Google search auto-completes that to ban Cordrazane. Never heard of them. Jesse, do you like the new phasers, Cap? Nope, I absolutely fucking hate the new phasers. I wouldn't say I hate them. I just dislike them. My one buddy, he's been on our channel. It's David Bissig. He does the Bissigverse content. He has the new phaser as part of his costume. I'm like, hold that up to the fucking original one. Yeah, it's a nice reimagining. It's a nice redesign, but there's not anywhere near the sleekness and fun sci-fi look of the original TOS phaser. I'm not a fan of the new phasers. No. I appreciate that they look so much like the TOS ones, though. Like, they're really doing a good job of doing a reimagining of them. But beyond that, not really. Eric Martin, Step on It from Piece of the Action. Yeah, that's a good one. BJ says, I learned something tonight about the origins of balls to the walls. There you go. Fleet Paw. Ooh, Throttle Up would be a good one. Not too obnoxious, I think. That's a good one, yeah. Ryan K. Yeah, it was a nice little history lesson. That's where you come to me. I got all that fucking knowledge in this noggin that I like to parse out here and there. So hopefully it's entertaining enough. That dude Vince. Thanks, Stuart. That's exactly what I thought. Paul Hitchcock. Drive it like you stole it. That's a good one. Oh, you want another history lesson? The saying the whole 9 yards. That refers to the ammo belts that were put in the wings of planes in World War II. They were 9 yards long, and they were like folded in, and when you went through the whole 9 yards. And Lola's contribution to this conversation is snoring. Because that is not me farting. Anyway, did you know the balls outcome from the steam governor from steam engines? Balls out. No, I did not know that. Fleetpaw, I'm coming up on my pond far. I may not make it to Wonderfest next year. Oh my god. Jeff W. Can't go wrong with Al Bundy's Let's Rock. Oh, Let's Rock's a good one. Yes, Let's Rock. That's a good one. You fucking win. Jeff W., you win the Thing contest tonight. Fleetpaw says killing Kirk satisfied Spock's pond far. Yes, BJ. Hypno Amber. Roddenberry basically said everything and everyone was having sex with each other. He was about the naked. He was all about the naked fun. Fleetpaw said, I think he had sex with the Romulan commander in Enterprise Incident 2. Yes, and also Nichelle Nichols. I don't know if you know that, but he also had an affair with Nichelle Nichols early on as well. So, yeah, Gene was a player for sure. Paul Hitchcock, Jeff W. Now I want to see Ed O'Neill as a Starfleet captain. Eric Martin, wow, a 7-year dry spell is more than I could take. Yeah, I would die. Fleetpaw says, the new one looks better than the Discovery ones. The new phaser looks better than the Discovery? No. Okay, it looks more in line with the TOS ones. The Strange New Worlds phaser looks more in line with the TOS one. Aesthetically, it's fine. It's a good, like, couple years earlier version. But I really like the Discovery phaser. I wish they had actually made the McFarlane Toys one. I wish that had actually become a thing because I like it. I think the Discovery phaser's got a nice bulk to it. It's got a nice look. It's got a big fucking delta on the top, which it doesn't need. That's the stupid thing. But that front dial that has the 3 different emitters on it, very similar to the Cage style, that's fucking awesome. I really love the Discovery phaser. So, yeah. Do I like the Strange New Worlds one? Yes. Like I said, it's a good reimagining of a TOS one. Close, but not quite there. And but it's just the shapes on it just don't appeal to me as a whole. So Hypno Amber, agreed. It's just that things had to be more implemented back then. Heads Up says slam it. Slam it. Twist it. Bop it. There you go. That's what my line would be. Set a course for Rigel 7, Warp 6. Let's fucking go! That would be mine. That's my thing. Let's fucking go! It's cute though. That's annoying. Jesse says, "Oh my God, I was just thinking about the whole 9 yards thing, laughing my ass off." Birth defect 1186. Mash it. Mash it. BJ says, "Wow, the whole 9 yards origin explained. I guess I have not expanded from learning the naval and nautical origins of common sayings. Like, piss poor, or I don't have a pot to piss in. You know what that implies? The people used to sell their urine. Really, really poor people used to sell their urine. If you were dirt poor, you had no floor in your house. It was just a dirt floor. You're dirt poor. Not having a pot to piss in, you were so poor that you didn't have a pot to put your piss in to take it down to the tannery, because they use urine to tan leather hides to make them softer. So the tanneries would buy people's piss, people's urine. So not having a pot to piss in means you're so poor you don't have a pot to piss in, right? Piss poor means you're poor enough that you need to go down to the tannery to sell your piss. That's the origin of those phrases. Hopefully that helped you in some small way. Just interesting shit that I know that I probably shouldn't, because it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, BJ says, "Wow, the whole 9 yards." Got that? Okay, well, yeah. What's with Ortega's calling acting Captain Spock Mr. Spock? I don't know. Shay, all ahead full. I like that one. All ahead full. Or all ahead half, 0.5. I want warp 5.5, everybody. Or God 6. The dial on the phaser, the rifles, anyway, to me, I'd feel be designed for different firing modes. Impulse, pulse, snipe, auto. The dial on the phaser rifles? Is that what you're talking about? Yo, bruh. I don't know if you guys know, but I got myself a phaser rifle. Got a slider for power settings. Bitch, please. Don't fuck with me today, son. But yeah, I got myself a phaser rifle. I don't know, I just felt like showing it off. I haven't shown it off in a while. See? TMS phaser rifle. I see you. I see you in there. Hi. Is that a carry handle? I guess it could be a carry handle. It's kind of dope. Yeah, and it's got magnetic parts, so you can take it apart. Oh, see? Magnetic parts, motherfucker. Anyway. Well, that's actually the magnet came out. Get in there, bitch. There we go. So yeah, that's my phaser rifle. This is my phaser. This is my gun. This is for fighting. This is for fun. I'm sorry. Have we gone off the rails? Yeah, we have. It's been later than usual, though. Usually it's the hour mark we go off the rails. In all fairness. All right, let's see. The dial on the disco phaser to me feel like it'd be designed for different firing modes: pulse, snipe, and auto. Yeah. Paul Hitchcock. Oh man, I was really bummed when McFarlane had to cancel the Discovery. I know, I had one pre-ordered. And they canceled. Bitches. Hipton, where they use urine for washing clothes too, especially white clothes. Fleet Pa. Betcha I would win you a lot of money at the bar. Bet it would win a lot of money at the bar, though. That's how I use my knowledge for minutia and oddities and random facts. I have no idea how I know. Yeah, there's a bar near me called the Dog House, which Sylvia's mom, my mother-in-law, goes to all the time because they have this like trivia thing, and she's invited us a few times, and me and her do really well because we both know our trivia. Me and her mom. Sylvia's pretty good. She knows geography and all that kind of stuff really well. But you know, I know more of the sci-fi stuff and all that. But Sylvia's really good with that too. But she's also good with history. So anyway, we've gone with her mom a few times. Her mom goes every week to do this trivia. I forget what it's called. I forget the name of the trivia game. But yeah, the useless facts come in handy for that kind of shit, for sure. But how often do you need those, right? Gene says, I agree with you that the disco verse is different than the prime verse, but there's one glaring thing that has been carried between the two and the campfire. Ashes disintegration effects. Ashes disintegration effects and Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. Yeah, there's a few things that have carried over. Jeff W., that TOS rifle looks like the Enterprise series rifle. Hello, Jonathan. That's the segment of The More You Know, brought to you by Stuart Foley. That's Captain Foley to you. Or Lord Captain, because I'm a Lord now. Lord Captain Foley. Yeah, I'm full of myself, I know. Paul Hitchcock, can you rotate the coils on the phaser rifle? No, the three don't rotate. Each individual one rotates, but the three together don't rotate. So that's one of the things you can't do. Way to point out the one thing my fucking thing can't do. Good job. Jesse, you'll put your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out. Jeff W., it just feels later because it's summer. Mastingo, Full Metal Jacket. Look, there's the Peregrine. USS Peregrine. That's the Sombra class ship right there. See it? That's... Anyway. I don't know if you've noticed, but all of the computer displays tonight have been Strange New Worlds. Yes, that is the Strange New Worlds moire effect. If you'll notice during our reviews and stuff, when we're doing different series, like new series, like when I did Picard, it was all Picard L-cars behind me. Now that we're doing Strange New Worlds, it's fucking Strange New Worlds ones, which look kind of awful. They don't really pop the way that TNG ones do. But, you know, I've only got a few of them. I need to get more. But there will be more on the way, don't worry. But yeah, I like to have the pretty things behind me. You couldn't see the top of the screen there to see all the information that's being displayed to you. Jeff W. Jeff W. says it just feels later because it's summer. Okay, but Jeff W., did you know the 66 Batman Gotham map in the Batcave is just a reverse map of St. Louis, Missouri? I did not know that, but now I do. And knowing is half the battle. Batman. Batman. Eric Martin Nightcap. I haven't really. Oh, bye, Eric. Curse you in your early mornings. .com says, give me warp. Simple is good. Or how about make that dilithium dance? That's a good one. Ooh. Or make those nacelles sing. Sing me another warp song. Okay, I'm out of bad ideas. No, those are all fucking fantastic. Give me warp. I would try to make some joke about how warped my mind is. Like, warp us is... I don't know how that would work. I got a really warped and twisted mind, so... Met a guy at Wonderfest. Actually, we went to one of the antique malls on the Friday when we got there, which had a lot of toys, like vintage toys and stuff. So I went to the antique mall, and one of the guys working there was like, "Are you Captain Foley?" And I'm like, "Yes." He goes, "I love." What does he say? He says, "I'm a big fan. I think you guys are funny." I'm like, I don't know if that's a insult or a compliment. He goes, "Oh, it's a compliment. You have a sick, twisted sense of humor, and so do I. So I love watching your stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, boy, that's awesome." But he wasn't even at Wonderfest. He was just an employee at the antique mall, and I ran into him. So that's pretty awesome. But I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that you think we're funny. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, apparently. Christ. Anyway. Fleetpaw, the somber class, Dollar General version of the Connie. Yeah, pretty much. Mastingo, make the dilithium dance, although I love it. Fleetpaw, $5. Scotty, we need warp. Speed in 3 minutes or we're all dead. Scotty. Tickle the dilithium. Let's do the dilithium shuffle. Do 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 do. That's not good. Motivate me. Warp will now commence. Perfect. I think you're funny. Sam's funny looking. I was going to say, when you said, "Do you think I'm funny?" I was going to say, looks aren't everything. Then I read the Sam part, so. And I'm really mad at you, Fleetpaw, for not making it down to Wonderfest. It was one of the best Wonderfests ever. Record number of entries. By the way, guys, if you're interested in Wonderfest and want to see what happened, I have a full 2 hour live, not 2 hour live, 2 hour long video of my entire weekend from Thursday to Monday at Wonderfest. So the Captain Foley full Wonderfest experience. Or if you're just interested in the models that were there, there is a Just the Models video, which is over on the Captain Foley personal channel. It's about 30 minutes long, and it shows all of the 1,078 entries, 49 entries, I can't remember. They hit a record this year, just over 1,000 entries for models, and there's some fantastic stuff. So if you want to see any of those, and I highly recommend watching both. Yes, the 2 hour one might be a little long, but you get to see the dealer's room, you get to see exhibit room B, you get to see the competition room, you get to see the behind the scenes stuff, you get to see the goofiness, the party life at night. You get to see all that shit in that video. So if you're interested in that, please go watch. The whole experience is a really good one, and you get to see my buddy Blappy being an idiot, and it's just a fun time. So if you're interested, please go to the Captain Foley personal channel. Make sure you're subscribed there as well when you're there, and also check out the video, like the video, and hopefully you enjoy it, and leave a comment. Please comment on it. I really appreciate that. So there you go. That's my Wonderfest spiel. I'll light it up. I like that one. Light this candle. Let's light this candle. That's a good one. Jeff W., if the Klingons had different birds of prey types, then let's just say Starfleet had different Connies. No, let's not do that because that's just stupid. Let's take the exact same design and just scale it down because that'll work, yo. Well, no, it won't, but okay. Jamie, they might want to think about getting an anti-theft feature on the Enterprise. Yes, they might want a low jacket. Gene Owalski Jr. I watched TOS in the 1960s on NBC, and I don't complain about the visual changes as much as young people seem to. Just enjoy the shows for Christ's sakes. Well, I do absolutely enjoy the shows, but it's not Prime, that's all. It's just a reimagined Discoverse, and that's cool. Shay says, let's get warped. Alrighty then. Fleetpaw, put more dilithium into the gas tank. We need to get moving. Dilithium is not a fuel source, dickhead. Dilithium is the spark plug, not the fuel. Mastingo, kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. Ooh, that's a good one. I know what mine is. I figured it out. Okay, this is mine. This is my thing for warp. I feel the need The Need for Speed. There you go. Top Gun, bitch. Top Gun. Yeah, FleetPaw shared the links for the whole experience and just the model, so thank you, FleetPaw. Ryan K, I would also say it's a compliment. You've both gotten a laugh out of several times. Also gonna head out. See you later. See you later, Ryan K. Good night, man. I'm gonna be wrapping up soon here too. A laugh out of me, I mean. Yeah, I figured it. I figured it out. Paul Hitchcock, did round 2 say anything about a Titan A Enterprise G models? No and no. FleetPaw, I know, but I was waiting for someone to say it. Shayla Kumar says, let's crank it up. And Jamie says, nice. Yeah, I think I feel the need for speed. That might be one that my personality would say. Yeah. I feel the need for speed. Go, bitch. There might be a lot of that on my bridge too. Go, bitch. Let's fucking move, yo. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. Depending on the situation and the stress levels involved, there might be swearing on my bridge. I'm warning you now. Just saying. Yeah. Full afterburner, it's a pretty good one. The X-Wing and A-Wing customs I showed you were my first attempt at customizing. Yeah, and pretty good, by the way. But keep it up. Keep doing better and get better each time. But the $9... But the S9 had story arcs, and they occasionally deviate. Yep. All right, guys, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Let's try to get to 80 likes. It's only 2 more. Honestly, I would love another $5 in super chats if able. That would be a nice number. So that would just be a nice way to end out. But yeah, I think I'm done. I just want to say this was a good episode of Strange New Worlds. It's good to have them back. Season 2, episode 1, awesome. But we really need to have some more fun instead of being so serious. This episode was kind of Salty Trekker was here earlier, gave it an 8 out of 10. I think that's a little too high, but it's in the ballpark. Tune in tomorrow afternoon. Good God, man. Tomorrow afternoon will be our edited review. And then tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be our complete breakdown and review analysis, where we break down every scene and just talk about it. Break down the entire episode. So if you can join us for that, please do. At the end, we score it, and we go from there. So it's good to have New Trek back again. I kind of missed it for like a month there, and it was all right. It was all right to not have it, but at the same time, it's like I miss this. I miss hanging out with you guys every Thursday night. So anyhow, on that note, I think, we hit 82 likes, which is awesome, but I think I'll call it there. Fleetpaw says, we swear on the NX-01 a little. I believe I told my weapons officer to fuck these bastards and blew them to Kingdom Come. You sure didn't blow them to Klingon Come? Oh, wow, that sounds really dirty. Just by changing Kingdom to Klingon. Blow them to Klingon Come. Blow out a load of Klingon Come. I don't know. That's really wrong. Anyway, Jeff W. Knight. Shayla Kamada Productions. Tomcats. Yes, Tomcats are the way to go, obviously. Hypno Amber. Excellent episode and a great way to start the season. Also, great stream, everyone. Thank you, Hypno Amber. Jamie says, put the pedal to the metal. Thanks, Captain. Take care. Beep, beep would be a funny phrase. The Bender. Let's go already. All right, guys. I'm going to call it there. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, because you better tune in. And if you're not going to, shame on you. But if you are going to, awesome. Also, check out, like I said, check out my Wonderfest videos over my Captain Foley personal channel. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you like Captain Foley and you like having fun and you want to see what Wonderfest is all about, check him out. It answers all those questions. So until next time, I'm Captain Foley, and I'll see you later.